Chapter 111 Beautiful Woman. Han Li quietly used his eternal spring arts to stabilize his mind before daring to even lift his head. His eyes skipped over the alluring woman and moved on to the last woman. The last wife to enter appeared to be 26 to 27 years old. Although she was a charming beauty, one look at her ice-cold face would stop anyone in his or her tracks. In addition, ever since she entered the room, her cold stare had been aimed straight at Han Li. Lady Yan saw these people come in and stood from her seat, gently greeting them. "Greetings, second sister and third sister. Fifth sister has also come. Fourth sister, you are too formal. We are all of the same family, there is no need to be so polite." Without waiting for the woman in front to speak, the extremely bewitching young woman covered her almond mouth and laughed. That laugh contained an alluring charm, causing Han Li to experience a burst of desire and a shaken spirit. He was speechless without end. "Little sister doesn't dare. Sisters, please take a seat." Lady Yan slightly smiled and offered her own chair to the wife in the front. She did not sit until after the wife sat. The one called fifth sister was an elegant and refined woman. She silently sat across from Lady Yan. After the married women entered, Mo Kaiwan knowingly closed the door and moved behind her mother. Her bright full moon eyes were spinning randomly across the room. It was unknown what exactly she was thinking. This youngster is the one that delivered the message? The woman of about 30 years of age looked at Han Li and faintly asked. "That's right. According to the letter he delivered, this is Lord Husband's successor." Lady Yan easily replied. Soon after, she said respectfully to Han Li, "This is your second martial mother. Are you not going to pay your respects?" "I pay my respects to second martial mother." Sharp-witted, Han Li stepped forward and formally bowed to the married woman. "Stand up. Since this is Lord Husband's favored disciple, there is no need to be overly polite," the married woman said with a smiling expression. "This is your third martial mother and fifth martial mother." Lady Yan pointed to the abnormally gorgeous young woman and the elegant and refined woman, introducing them one by one to Han Li. "Greetings to third martial mother and fifth martial mother." Han Li saw the young married women to be no more than a few years older than him. After a second of hesitation, he also bowed courteously. Han Li looked at Lady Yan with a face of doubt. She faintly smiled and said with a warm voice, "Your third martial mother stopped the aging of her face with a technique. Although she looks to only be of about 20 years, she is about the same age as your second martial mother." After Han Li heard this, he inwardly nodded his head, satisfied that his own guess hadn't been too far off. This alluringly beautiful young woman naturally practiced an unusual secret art, otherwise how else could she have captivated him with her mere appearance and rendered unable to control himself? "Second sister, this is Lord Husband's handwritten letter, please look over it." Lady Yan handed Han Li's letter to second wife Lady Li. After Lady Li finished reading it, she passed the letter to the other two wives. Once the elegant and refined young woman, the last wife to read the letter, finished looking over the several wives were stunned into completely silence. Even the seemingly frivolous and gorgeous young wife, Lady Lu, had a solemn expression on her face. Completely lacking the boldness and alluring charm she possessed a moment ago, Lady Lu was instead showing an unexpected composure. When Han Li saw the appearance of Dr. Mo's several wives, he could not help but grow uneasy. He did not know what significant information the letter had revealed to cause these wives to be so serious. However, Han Li's calm expression hadn't changed since he first entered the room, making the wives think that he was reliable and had the bearing of a general. "Han Li, your teacher's letter has shocked us martial mothers far too greatly, so we'll need to properly talk this over. You've come here from far away, surely you must be tired. You should spend the night here at the Mo estate. Tomorrow, we will call you for questioning." Since Lady Yan had held the power of the fearsome Flood Dragon Association in her hand for several years, each and every one of her movements possessed an unspeakable dignity. Ultimately, she was the first to speak and instruct Han Li. This junior follows your orders. Han Li replied with a complete obedience. The other wives did not block Lady Yan. It seemed they also agreed to have this outsider Han Li withdraw so that they could discuss a few sensitive matters. Huaner, bring your father's disciple Han to the rear residence and find him a clean room for him to have a proper rest, Lady Yan ordered Mo Kaiwan. Zai. I got it. Senior disciple Han Li, follow me. Mo Kaiwan blinked her eyes several times, slightly wrinkled her nose, and started to be somewhat unwilling. However, she immediately thought better of it and agreed with a smile across her face. You are forbidden from bothering your senior disciple. Otherwise you will be punished by clan rules. Lady Yan knew the thoughts of her good-for-nothing daughter like the back of her hand, thus giving her a verbal warning in advance. All right, I understand. Pouting her face, the young girl unwillingly agreed. Han Li was speechless. If Lady Yan hadn't said anything, would this dainty young woman have played some tricks on him? Han Li looked at Mo Kaiwan with a peculiar gaze, and for the first time, he no longer saw this girl as adorable. As a result of her mother's interference, Mo Kaiwan dispiritedly walked out the door. Han Li followed behind with an unmoving expression. Waiting several moments after Han Li had left the room, Lady Yan broke the silence in the room with her solemn voice. Fifth sister, I'll have to inconvenience you to take a look around and see whether or not that boy has truly left or if he has secretly returned, and is hiding somewhere. We're still not sure. After the elegant, refined Lady Wang heard this, she left the room, and disappeared into the dark. Fourth sister, you overestimated that boy. How could he possibly be so skilled? A light flashed in third wife's pretty eyes. Third sister, you've truly forgotten about one thing. A disciple of our Lord husband can't possibly be ordinary. I believe our Mo estate is quite heavily guarded. What's more, this building is an important location where I handle the association's affairs. Not far from here, there are 20 to 30 hidden sentries densely standing guard. But even with all of our defenses, he was still able to stealthily infiltrate his place without drawing my or Kaiwan's attention. Do you think that this is something an ordinary expert can achieve? Lady Yan quietly said.